Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. How's it going? Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jean Nolan, and I'm excited that you're all here for this spontaneous live stream. Um, Let me see. We might have, we might have some troubles here. Give me 1 second to fix something here while I'm talking to you. I'm going to try to do this. Um, and let me see if I can fix this. Sometimes technology can be a little bit of an enemy for me. I'm not going to lie, this happens to me. So let's see if we can do this. Let's go here. Just working on it for a second. If I can't, then probably we might not be live on Rumble today. I think I made a little bit of a mistake here. At any rate, you guys can see me. I'll stick here on YouTube for now. So over the past days and weeks, we've had a lot of great conversations with many different people from many different fields. And hey, welcome everybody. I see Five Dead Fox. I see Dan, Melissa, Essie. I see 2Tim3. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I've had a lot of conversations. We had a lot of conversations, and with people from all walks of life, in all parts of the world. And some people that are working on high profile projects, some people that are doing their thing as they're just doing their thing in life. But all of them have something in common. Number one, they see through the matrix, that, like you. And number two is they have a vision into the future. And all of them, we had similar discussions, and those were what's this current timeline that we're in? What's it going to bring for us? And are we going to actually see a really positive shift? And what can we do? What is our quote unquote secret weapon? And here, if you go out into the matrix, a lot of times you think, and we think, things look pretty bleak and pretty hopeless, because everywhere you look, it's just more fear, more worry, more panic, more war, more destruction of this system, and it's really not looking good. But at the same time, we're meeting so many people everywhere that are awakening and seeing things, and actually have already decided to take a different approach. But there's a secret weapon in this all, and people are just beginning to realize what that is. And I'll tell you from my personal experience, and then bring it into a broader perspective what I mean by that. The secret weapon is literally the difference between falling into the trap or living in freedom. Okay, so that's really what this is about. And in my own life, I've noticed something many years ago, decades ago. The system, everything in the system, it starts in school, in your job, with the government, whatever you do, if you want a permit for something, everything's designed on fear. So what they do, it starts with your teacher. If you, as a kid, you go to school, you don't do something the way you're supposed to, the way they tell you to, and then they do this weird thing. For no particular reason, they try to put fear in you, right? So they get angry or agitated, or they raise their voice, and they get really strict with you, which is, in the big scheme of things, completely illogical. Why would you, right? It's not a big deal. Nothing happened. But that's what they do. That's what the whole system does. So what this does to us humans is we fall out of balance constantly. And we get basically trained to have this survival instinct kick in. Although it's not necessary, we're rarely in a situation where we get attacked by wild animals or anything that would actually require of us to be in this survival state. But we are taught nonetheless to be in it. So we fall out of balance. Our body goes into survival mode, and we lose all our creativity. Literally, when I realized that this was happening, I put all of my energy into creating a state of balance within me. I later found out and realized that that's what our brain naturally does. See, our brain doesn't actually naturally seek extreme states of even happiness. It also doesn't, of course, seek states of extreme sadness or fear or anger, because all of it, both sides, are very hard to sustain for the body, because there's such an extraordinary experience, such an extraordinary chemical experience, that the body simply can't do it for longer periods of time. So naturally, our brain, as the operating center, seeks balance. And what happens when we're in balance? We don't fall into fear. When we're in balance, we don't fall into panic. And we use our creative forces. In survival, we only use our subconscious instinct that drives us and lets us survive through the next day or so, or hour or minute. But when we're in the balanced state, we access all of our potential, all of our creativity. And that's the state that these dark entities, this cabal, or whatever you want to call them, that's what they're so afraid of. Because number one, they don't have it. They don't have balance. They don't know what that is. Second of all, they know when we're in a balanced state, we are totally winning at everything. We're winning at life. We're winning the spiritual war. We're winning everything when we're in a state of balance. So how do we do that? How do we actually achieve, maintain, and if we lose it, how do we get it back? So this is a full spectrum thing, right? It begins, of course, with your attitude, realizing this, realizing, oh, wait a minute, my heart's beating really fast. I feel this weird feeling in the pit of my stomach. I'm short of breath. Oh, I'm in a state that's really out of balance. Fear. In this state, don't make decisions. It's useless unless you're fighting for your life, of course. Then this state will help you survive. But other than that, if your life isn't threatened, wait it out. In a few minutes, you're going to calm down. You take a few deep breaths, and you're going to regain your creative powers. That's number one. But you have to make a decision that balance needs to be your foundational state, right? And that's something that nature actually does. Nature puts every being into balance. Unless there's a survival need, then you fall out of it, then you run, then you fight, whatever it is. But nature actually put us in a state of balance. Society programmed us to be out of balance for that particular reason. If we're always off kilter, we never feel our intuition, we never have our creativity, and we need to follow whatever they feed us, the crap that they feed us. They say, just do this and you'll be safe. Just do this and you'll be fine. People that are in balance do not do that. They have their own intuitive system, their own intelligence they can use. So whether that's prayer first thing in the morning or meditation, and it's actually the same thing really, but going deep within, taking deep breaths every morning for a few minutes, maybe 10, 5, 7, 20, however long that feels good for you, but doing it actually until you get into a really deeply relaxed state, but also balanced state. And notice if you then set an intention for the day, like today's going to be a great and balanced day, right? Today's going to be a joyous and balanced day, how that sets you up for the day. But there are other things that we also need to do, not just what happens in prayer and meditation. There's also in this state, setting the intention that you're going to walk with the Creator. There is a all-knowing energy, being, you call it God, Creator, Yahweh, I mean, whatever you feel most appropriate. You can also call it because that's the sound of the Creator. But the truth is, the name isn't as important as you giving the Creator a place in your heart, a place in your mouth, in your mind, in your actions. So then you walk with the Creator. But what do we do in our physical lives? Because listen, all around us, and especially over the past months again, now, at least here where we were in Tennessee and parts of the United States that we've visited in the past 4 years, up until the change between the presidents, it's weird to even call it that, we saw years of little to no chemtrails, maybe no chemtrails. Now they're spraying like crazy, but not just that. They're with frequency, with, of course, media, every little bit currently in your outer reality is designed to constantly keep you off balance. So detach as good as possible, number one. Number two, drink clean water. Clean water. If you can get clean spring water, yes, I know to a certain extent it's going to be contaminated, but as clean as possible, right? That's really, really important. Steer away from all artificial drinks, all the soda and all that crap. It is filled with chemicals that clog your system up and that are slowly but surely killing you. In general, this is a great time to rethink your diet. First of all, the amount, but the amount really changes automatically with the quality of the food you eat. The more processed crap you eat, excuse me, I can't even call it food because all the processed stuff isn't food, it's crap. The more you're going to crave that because it doesn't have nutrients in it. So your body constantly gives you the feeling of hunger because it's not getting what it needs. And so you put more into yourself. Now, people will say, well, quality food is really more expensive than processed food. Yes, but if you look at it big picture, if you choose quality food, clean quality food, as good as possible, once again, you will need far less because this food will be much higher in nutrient density, and your body will not crave the amounts of food that it craves on bad food. If you do this for a few months and maybe look into detox options, I mean, something we do a lot, that's just us, it's activated charcoal. Again, we're not giving medical advice, but activated charcoal really, really helps in the detox process to get all the heavy metals out. And the reason why I'm telling you this, because getting in balance isn't just a spiritual practice, it is also a physical practice. And that needs to be understood. When we're physically balanced and clean, it's much easier to be in a soul state of balance. Then, of course, the consumption of media, honestly, bring it down to a necessary minimum. I love going specifically to a particular show. I don't know whether that's, for maybe, we like to be watch sometimes iconic David Icke's platform, and we'll go and see what's happening there. But very specifically, one thing, and we're off again. Step away from the browsing and this algorithmically fed thing, and really consciously choose what you consume, when you consume it. Be present so you have a filtration system, and then step away, which leads me to the next thing. If you're not consuming a lot of media through the internet or TV or whatever, then that leaves some space to go out into nature. Maybe if you're in a city, go into a park. Look for anything that's natural and fresh and real, organic, and connect with it. It's so beautiful. And if you can go an hour a day, for example, for a walk in nature, an hour a day or walk in a park will already enhance this greatly. Also, really reevaluate the relationships in your life or who you spend time with. It's long been said that one becomes the average of the 5 people one spends most time with. Now, I've put this to the test over many, many times, and I believe for most people this is the truth. You really become very much like the 5 people you spend most time with. Maybe not completely, but energy-wise, yes, that happens. So sometimes that means we maybe spend more time alone, or we truly just pick certain times with certain people. And pay attention. Do you feel at least neutral after the conversation, but do you feel enriched? Was it mutually enriching? Do you feel a feeling of joy, of love, of freedom when you're with them, or do you have to hold back? Is it a fighting experience? Is it energy draining? Pay attention and adjust accordingly. We are not obliged. We don't have an obligation to constantly keep relationships going, even though they are draining us. If we realize that people are energy suckers or they just need something from you but have nothing to give, maybe it's a good time to reevaluate. I mean, oftentimes even with family, we have to be a little more, use more discernment. But balance is really the key. I've noticed this over and over and over again. Yes, of course, it's joy and love. But see, our balanced state includes all of that. It includes love and joy and freedom. And then we have these extraordinary experiences where all the joy chemicals are activated and we're just in seventh heaven. It's amazing. But even that is, the body wasn't designed to sustain that constantly. So it's using this, it's craving this state of being very content, present, and awake, aware. That's really the state. And in this state, listen, we are the secret weapon. We cannot be swayed. The fear cannot be put into you because there's nowhere to put it. You're not susceptible to fear. And this is the big picture. This is what's happening in the world. Truly speaking, I do believe that the side of organic mankind, the sign of God created mankind is absolutely winning. I do believe the path of love, the path of freedom, of compassion, of kindness, of unity and individual expression, not collectivism, not some type of socialism, communism, but real unity in mankind is winning. I do believe that. It's simply what I see. But the guys that have the megaphones and that have the big speakers right now and have the big screens, they're in the vast majority, but they scream the loudest. And that's what's going to tell you something. If you are losing, you're screaming. If you're out of balance, you're screaming. If you're a cornered rat, you're screaming. So that's what they're doing. They're screaming at the top of their lungs. They want to make everyone believe they're in the majority, but it isn't happening. It simply isn't happening. So many indicators for that. And I know we're talking a lot about these events that are happening in the world right now that are going to create an era of chaos that is probably really needed. But what I'm saying is this is just turbulence, chaotic times in times of transformation. But I do believe that we are on the winning side of this. I truly believe that with all my heart, because there's so many wonderful people out there. And now when they see the opportunity to connect with others, when they see the opportunity to do something good, when they see the opportunity to co-create, they do it. It's wonderful to see. We're seeing this all around the place and feeling it. We're in your comments, emails, and all of that, and all around us. So make this state of balance something that you really bring into your life. Set the intention and observe yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't, go on a guilt trip or shame trip if it doesn't work out right away. But one day at a time, bring more balance into your life and notice what helps and notice what doesn't help and adjust accordingly. I'll tell you, it'll be a much smoother ride. It's kind of like, when you first, whenever you would try something like surfing or skateboarding, when you first step on it, it's very hard to keep your balance and you're going a little too far here and a little too far there and everything is wobbly. But once you get the hang of it, it's just so smooth and beautiful. And you wonder, how could I ever not have known how to do this? This is what balance is. And so perhaps sometimes it's more beneficial, rather than seeking states of extreme joy and kind of going from depression or fear or anger or sadness to the state of extreme bliss, give yourself permission for the journey. And notice that balance is really the foundational element of it all. And I can just tell you, they don't have a chance. These dark entities, they're going to eat themselves because they're not going to get an inch of you to cooperate with it. It's just beautiful when that happens. So this was the message I wanted to bring out today, something we've been talking about a lot, hearing it a lot, seeing it a lot. And I truly believe we are winning. We are winning. There is this beautiful potential already unfolding. And just bring whatever you have. You tiny little cultsters, just bring what you got. Just bring it on already. So you see, don't stand a chance. You see, you can kind of, light yourself up and burn or whatever you do, but there isn't a chance that you are going to take over the magnificent thing that mankind is. The souls, the bodies, the visions, the inspiration. There's no chance. There's no chance. We're way too powerful, and we have the Creator to thank for that, because He gave us everything that we could possibly need and more. All right, Inspired Tribe, thank you so much for joining me today, my fellow freedom lovers. I truly we appreciate you. Kristin and I think about you a lot, talk about you a lot, and we look forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Be abundantly blessed. Have a wonderful day, and I'll go and play in nature for the next few hours now. All right, see you soon.